Well, I'm not trying to get rid of anything, though. This is the thing. No one.
Well,
is.
do you don't think that homosexual marriage, for instance, is a complete slap in the face towards Christians?
Well,
their fundamental belief structure says
this is where we would have to
between one man and one woman.
So this is where we'd have to
say your happiness level for your religion needs to be completely eradicated.
No.
Accommodate these people here.
Hold on.
Andrew Wilson schools this young liberal Hunter Avalon about religion and marriage in this clip, and Andrew Wilson pushes this soy boy out of his safe space in this debate to the point Hunter Avalon needs to take a breath. So let's watch Andrew Wilson cook.
It's another thing. Another reason. There are statistics showing that oftentimes hyper-religious individuals are more likely to put their faith over scientific evidence. Anti-intellectualism has already cost us with COVID, with how we've seen the conspiratorial bullshit, the anti-vaxxers and whatnot. So yes, there is a multitude of harm that white evangelicals perpetuate on this country, or could, hypothetically. So I think that your argument would be completely doomed. It would have
So now answer me this, now that we have established this.
Mm-hmm.
Is the happiness level in people who are Christians higher or lower than the average population in the United States?
So I'm going to answer this.
No, just yes or no. Is it higher or lower?
I'm not going to answer it unless I can elaborate, because the answer it needs an elaboration there. Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely. Yep, you're right. People in religious circles do have happier or higher rates of happiness.
Doesn't it do them harm if you were to take that away from them?
Sure. Yes. So here's the thing.
So now we're talking about which.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Because it's not the religious aspect of it, but rather the community aspect of it. So if you were to gauge a group of people that say every Saturday they went to some big community event with community picnic and then went bowling or whatnot, you would find higher rates of happiness in those people as well. Having a structured community is what gives you that higher level of happiness. And again, I'm not shitting on all of religion. My parents are very religious. I respect them for that, and that's because I recognize that for them it is a form of community, and that's important for people.
What I'm trying to get to the heart of here is that it seems like your issues are secondary to the religion. You're saying this is how religious people behave in this political sense that I disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, what are your fundamental problems with the religion itself?
Oh, you want to talk about Christianity?
If you have a problem with Christianity, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really to be fair, I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a deep theological talk.
I'm not really trying to get into a deep theological talk. What I'm trying to discuss here is motivation.
I'll dial it back here. Get personal for a second. I have admitted this multiple times on stream. I have a little bit of resentment with how religion was taught to me personally. So I don't I try to steer clear of the deep theological debates about Christianity. My general summary, if you don't mind, really quick, and I'll hand it over to you, is just that, yes, people who have a sense of community, whether that be a secular sense of community or a religious circle and sense of community, is absolutely beneficial and has been proven to be such. I'm not advocating to take any of that away. I'm fine with people going to church. I'm fine with people being religious. I was raised as a Christian. I think there are some good parts of the Bible. There are some good things you can take away from religion. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-religion here. My argument ultimately was that white evangelical, the fundamentalist Christians, those are more of the people that I'm concerned about on a statistical level. And it doesn't mean they can't be reached, but it just means that they would be more likely to perpetuate harm. And again, there's nothing harmful with being gay at all.
What about the harm perpetuated against them for telling them that their beliefs are incorrect, even though their happiness level is higher?
Well, I thought this was a good question by Andrew Wilson, speaking to the happiness of people who do have a religion. Because, folks, you can look at some of these people, a lot of these people on the left who have just devoid themselves of any religion at all. And these are some of the angriest, most unhappy, depressed, you name it type of people. And even this guy, Hunter Avalon, he agrees. He agrees with Andrew Wilson. And that Andrew Wilson's saying that, religious people are happier and not nearly as bad on the opposing front. And he agrees with them. But, that taking away that would be harmful. And Hunter Avalon is trying he's trying to split this, in my opinion. He's trying to say it's community, but no. That community, that's entertainment that provides people, yes, but it doesn't answer the deep questions of why am I here? What am I doing? What am I doing this for? Where am I really going? Like, bullying doesn't answer that. All right. Hanging out at the bar doesn't answer that. And that's why you still have people talking more and more online openly about loneliness and emptiness and lack of purpose. All of this. Bullying and going to the bar doesn't solve that. There's only one thing that does, and that is your religion. Whatever that might be, that is the explanation to what you are doing and why. Because otherwise, you're just a person reacting to the outside world. And that's not what people are. People are more than that. So I don't agree with Hunter Avalon on that at all. Like, people need community, but religion answers more than that. It's not just the community. And not only that, that community only comes from those questions. The questions are answered, the people come around it, and then you have that. So you can't split those away from one another. But let me know what you think in the comments and leave a like. Let's get back in.
Well, what do you mean? Their beliefs.
So what I'm asking is, why is it that we should sacrifice the happiness of 200 million people in order to accommodate this small handful of people?
Well, I'm not trying to get rid of anything, though. This is the thing. No one.
Well,
is.
do you don't think that homosexual marriage, for instance, is a complete slap in the face towards Christians?
Well,
their fundamental belief structure
so
says
this is where we would have to
between one man and one woman.
So this is where we'd have to
say your happiness level for your religion needs to be completely eradicated.
No.
Accommodate these people here.
Hold on, this is pushing me into trying to push me into a bad optical corner here, but no, not at all.
I'm not trying to.
I know, but it's not. Hold on. We're not. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I got super distracted at the chat at the last second there. Could you repeat what you said again? I apologize.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
hold on. I'd just like to also point out I'm having a bit of a slow night tonight, so it's
okay.
Defense.
So I'm just pointing out from the Christian side, they think to themselves, look, marriage is a religious institution to them. It's not a political institution.
Right. So
they don't think of it that way.
So this is
they think of it as a religious institution, and they think that the institution, if you allow homosexuals to become marriage, is destroying the institution of their very faith and grounding that they walk on.
But it's not the government's job to uphold any one religion. This has already been established by the Constitution, and it's a known fact that we have separation of church and state in many ways.
Well, then why is it that the government issues marriage licenses at all? Why don't they just stay out of it?
I would agree with you. That's what, honestly, I would fucking love that. Yes, ultimately that.
So if that's the case, then why would you be angry about something that's not called marriage but gives you all the rights to marriage?
Well, I didn't know if did I ever say I was angry about that? I didn't.
Well, right. So one of the things
I think I talked about the tax incentives. I'm not sure what that.
Well, so one of the things that homosexual advocates did, there was something that was there in place for these people, for homosexuals, that was designed specifically.
Oh yeah,
and it was called a civil union.
Yeah.
Yeah, but civil unions weren't good enough. It had to be marriage.
I don't know all the ins and outs, but I don't think I need to get into that. No one's trying to take away anyone's happiness level, and we could just as easily flip this on its head and say that white evangelicals restricting people from getting married and living their lives freely, pursuing their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that would restrict their happiness. What about gay people not being able to get married? What about two people that love each other and can't get married?
This is the fundamental question that we're coming to. This is why I'm bringing this up is, do we sacrifice the happiness of the 200 million people who believe in this institution as a religious institution for the people who believe that it's a secular institution?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because just as easily, again, I'm going to defer you back to slavery. We sacrificed the happiness of a whole lot of Southerners when all of a sudden we made slavery illegal. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't the right thing to do, my dude. So absolutely, yes. In some instances, you have to sacrifice the quote-unquote happiness. But again, that would be flipping it on them. Why are they unhappy with the fact that gay people are getting married? They don't have a right. I'm sorry. Their religion does not have a right to dictate how the government government is run. There needs to be a separation.
There's no government right anywhere in the United States Constitution for them to issue a marriage license. At
It
the
is
federal level.
So it's a state thing, right?
Well, it should be a 10th Amendment thing, but the Supreme Court interpreted the Constitution and applied it towards a non-discrimination clause, which was designed for black people, had nothing to do with homosexuals at all.
Perfect. So
yes, it should have defaulted to a 10th Amendment, and anytime it did default to a 10th Amendment, it was voted down.
Yeah, Hunter Avalon, basically, in my opinion, he's got this backwards. He's saying religion doesn't have the right to tell government what to do. Okay, government is the one telling religion what to do. It's the other way around. It's government who's stepped in and told religion, you can't do this and you can't do that, even though that is what your text says, that is your religious belief. We used to have civil unions. You could have all the same tax incentives, all of the same benefits. And yet, as Andrew Wilson pointed out, that wasn't enough. We have to take over marriage. We have to redefine marriage. Tell me, if you tried to do that to, say, Islam, like if you tried to redefine Islam, I don't think they would take too kindly to that. Okay, folks. Now, I do agree that government should just step out of it and say, like, if these two people want to agree to have this marriage and these two people want to agree to have this union, there's no discrimination. Y'all can do what you want. Hey, I'm fine with that. I think that's something most people could, agree with. But if that's the case, then if you're going to say the U.S. government is instituting marriage licenses, then the government has de facto stepped in and then decided, okay, you can only get married if we say so. So we are the decider, not the church, not the people. We are the decider of marriage. So no, Hunter Avalon has this completely backwards. And yeah, Andrew Wilson is absolutely right. This is basically something that was, in my opinion, misinterpreted. And when left to the 10th, to the states as it is in the 10th Amendment, it's been voted completely the other way. So this was more or less kind of voted on people, but an interesting conversation, and one that I think Hunter Avalon is definitely out of his element dealing with someone like Andrew Wilson talking to. But folks, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought and what you think about what Andrew Wilson had to say to Hunter Avalon in this debate. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.